The car buying market has been a rocky road the last few years. Higher prices for used cars and high interest rates can make car buying much less affordable. But stuff happens and you might find yourself in a situation where you need to buy a vehicle. SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union is here to let us know how to navigate the car buying process. Let's welcome Madison Branch Manager Nathan Calhoun. Hey, Nathan.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. So, Nathan, our current market, the new normal when it comes to buying a used car. Explain that for us.
Well, it's tough to know if it is the new normal. It's hard to predict. Prices are still historically high, but we've seen some positive signs recently. Manufacturers are, seeing some improvements in their process. They're getting more inventory in. And since December, there's been actually some prices lowered on new and used vehicles out there.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
What do these trends mean for shoppers?
Well, if you're someone who wants to buy a car, but maybe isn't really in that category of needing to buy a car right now, this trend could mean that waiting and seeing could pay off. That you could get a better price on that same vehicle if you just hold off right now. Obviously, as you mentioned, though, there's a lot of people out there that aren't in that category. They need to buy a car right now.
Yeah, so for people in that category who need to buy a car now and they're in that group, what should they do?
I think just start with a lot of research. Go out, look online, look at the local dealerships, find out which car model meets your needs. Once you figure out the car model, you can start doing your research and pricing. See, what dealerships out there, either online dealerships, local dealerships, have the best pricing, and start figuring out, is there an online dealership that can maybe move a car to you that would best suit your needs and fit your budget?
Yeah, and there's a lot of options for that, so that's always helpful. I've heard there are some strategies around the best time to shop. Is that true?
Maybe. So hard to say, but there is some evidence out there that suggests maybe Mondays. The weekend rush is over, the sales traffic is a little bit lowered. Let's say if it's a dealership that is looking to have some sales goals and they try to meet those monthly, quarterly, yearly, coming at those times at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year. And then lastly, a good time, depending on whether or not you want the newest vehicle, manufacturers tend to release the next model year in the previous year in the fall sometime. That means the previous model years will be around, but they'll be looking to get rid of those so they can make room for those new models. So look for deals on those cars at that time.
Yeah, especially if you can get a better price on it.
Yeah.
Once you find the car you want, are there any tips for the best way to finance your vehicle?
Well, what you're going to want to do is, figure out your budget for the car. Rates have risen over the last couple of years. Actually, last year, there were some dramatic increases, sometimes as high as 2%, in 1 year, higher than they were a couple years ago. So understand with the rising price of cars, the rising interest rates, affordability is an issue. The payment is likely going to be higher than what you've seen before in the past. So figure out what your comfortable monthly payment is. Go to where they have a payment calculator. We have one at our website, which is SchoolsFirstFCU.org. And calculate your comfortable payment, and then you understand what your budget is. Also, good tip, get pre-approved. Now you know what rate you're going to be working with, you know what payment you can work with, and you can go out and shop around and figure out what's the best choice for you.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned having a budget before you go in, because when you see the shiny car, sometimes it's easy to kind of want to range outside of your budget, but having an idea in mind before doing so. Why is it important to finance through a credit union? What are the benefits of that?
Well, credit unions, auto loans are our bread and butter. We tend to do really well in this category, and I think you'll see some of the more competitive rates at credit unions out there. So if you haven't financed a vehicle through a credit union before, please come check us out, check out your local credit union, and see what the rates are and compare them. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it's good to be knowledgeable. Nathan, always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
You bet. And for more financial wellness tips, you can visit a SchoolsFirst branch near you. Just like Nathan mentioned, they have over 70 locations. And you can also go to SchoolsFirstFCU.org for more info.